Using a sphere, I will start forming the head. I'll pull out the neck here, add a sphere, mirror it, and shape the ears. I'll carve the eye sockets to later place the eyes, draw out the nose, then add a sphere for the eyes, mirror it, and place it in the eye sockets. I'll sculpt her eyelids and carve out the area between the nose and eyes, and I'll sculpt the nostrils, smooth things out, and then inflate the mouth area to get a smoother curvature. And now I will crease in the lips. By grabbing different polygons, I will apply color for the iris and pupil of her eyes. I'll continue to improve the sculpt and refine her brows. I'll pull the ears towards her head and then add her eyebrows using a vertex and extrude it with the snap tool turned on. I'll shape her eyebrows, mirror it, and then add her eyelashes in a similar manner. I'll extrude the vertices outwards and voila! Getting back to her lips, I'll sharpen the top part and sculpt in the fill trim. I'll then refine her nose, shape it, and I'll start adding the hair by using curves. By manipulating the points, I will shape her hair, scale it, and twist it at will. I'll then duplicate the hair strand, place it, and then shape the new hair strand. I'll duplicate it again, shape it again, duplicate, shape, you get the point. I'll then add a sphere to quickly represent her torso. In case you didn't get the point earlier, I'll duplicate her hair again and shape it, duplicating it again and shaping it again. Okay, enough of that. I'll add a sphere, shape it around her head to fill up any blanks from the current lack of hair strands, and now onto the body. I'll place spheres for the rest of the torso and the arms. I'll start shaping her torso, then I'll add new spheres for her legs. I'll shape her thighs, duplicate it for the lower part of her legs, and shape that part as well. I'll merge both parts with remesh and continue sculpting. I'll then start shaping her arms and forearms. I'll now add a plane for her to stand on, quickly shape her feet and part of her hands. I'll then carve some landmarks for her torso to help with the proportions, reposition her arms, and refine her a bit more. By turning the whole scene to black, I will be able to focus on her silhouette and proportions. We can also use the length of her head using a plane, duplicating it, and using that as a way to check her proportions. There isn't a hard rule here, but for her I will use 7 heads and a half, which will shorten her lower limbs a bit. I'll start working on her fingers by adding a sphere, scaling, mirroring, placing, and sculpting it. I'll then duplicate it a few times, 5 fingers last time I checked, and place them accordingly. I'll quickly make her torso look like fabric by slightly indicating some folds, then I'll give her a smaller forehead by pulling some of the hair strands down. Using a modified cube, I will cut her body into 2 parts to start working on her skirts, then I'll add a darker color for her tops. With the new sphere, I'll sculpt her a white collar, then I'll add another modified cube to cut her arms into 2 parts, then join the upper parts to her skirts. I'll quickly refine the joint area to make it seamless, then I will create an accessory with a cylinder, model it, and place it at her wrists. I'll start pulling her dress with the grab brush, then I will join her feet with her legs and smooth things out. With the new sphere, I'll sculpt her shoes around her feet, then I will refine her ankles. Being done with most of the sculpts, I will go back and make some modifications, improvements, and refinements till satisfied, before heading to the next step. Nice. Okay, time to give her a pose. I'll add an armature, scale it up, place the bones to fit her actual pose, delete unnecessary bones, continue placing the bones, and then I will link her to the armature with some automatic rigging magic. I'll now make sure it worked, then I will give her a quick pose. Bam! I will now use a cylinder to model a chest piece by extruding and adding vertices, nothing fancy. I'll scale it down, place it over her hands, duplicate it for her other hand, and turn one white and one black. I'll play again with her pose, and then adjust the placement of the chest pieces. I'll now throw in a quick automatic unwrap to her face to get things ready for texturing. I'll switch to the Eevee render engine with some lights thrown in, then I will start painting her lips with a nice saturated dark red. I'll continue by painting in subtle reds and blues to her face, refine the lips, and darken areas of contact. And now I'll add a camera. Nice. Okay, I'll quickly go back and refine the sculpt further by adding multi-res modifiers and going over areas that needed some work, specifically her hands. I'll also add in some quick folds for her dress and add some more hair strands for her head, and finally I'll paint her iris. I'll adjust the shaders for the final touch, and voila! Nice. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to be the first to watch my future videos. With that said, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome character sculpts and art related videos. You can also check out my store for full courses on character sculpting, texturing, materials, brushes and more. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, then you will definitely enjoy the next one.